So back at the beginning of my Vlogmas journey, at the back of my Vlogmas journey, Celie Reed asked me a question and wondered if I could do a video on how I balance my entrepreneurship, my family time, and the holidays. And so I thought that I would finally get around to making this video simply because, well, now's a really good time, right? Hi guys! Welcome back to Life a Mile High. I am Rachel. It is good to have you here on this episode of Vlogmas. And yes, I'm wearing a very sparkly shirt because I'm going to a Christmas party later today. So I have to admit, I kind of feel like I'm not really a good person to ask this question. And the reason why is because I don't have any family here in Colorado that I have to worry about visiting here around the holidays. Robo and I are the only ones of our families that live this side of the Mississippi, and so we don't go home for the holidays because it's usually really expensive. And so for the most part, hanging out with family and trying to do that part of the holidays really just happens over a phone call. However, when it comes to being an entrepreneur, there's definitely a whole bunch of things that I have to keep in place. I think a big part of making it through any busy season, whether that is because you have front-loaded a whole lot of work and suddenly you've got to do it all, or it's a holiday season, or maybe you are involved in like 3 different things at once and they're all kind of, just in this big jumble. The big thing is managing other people's expectations and managing your own personal expectations for yourself. So the first one, managing other people's expectations. The first thing that you need to do is set clear moments in your calendar, in your day, when you're going to be available for other people and for other tasks. And you have to stick to this fact that these are what you have decided. In my normal day-to-day life, if somebody calls me and says, hey, I'd like to get together with you for a meeting because you're an entrepreneur and surely you must have a Tuesday off. I don't know why people think this. They think because I work from home, I have like all these gobs of time available. What I tell them is, look, I'm available on this day between this, and I'm available on this day between this. And this is true for the next 3 weeks. Now that sounds kind of mean, but the reality is that's what I can handle and still be able to get my work done. Another way that I manage other people's expectations has to do with my email. I have an autoresponder that goes out so that every time someone emails me, they get a notification that says, hey, Rachel's going to respond to your email between these 2 different times a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I don't have the time to always be immediately responding to email. This is a real pain in the butt, and often what happens is that if you don't immediately answer an email without an autoresponder like mine, the expectation from the person on the other side of the message is that, oh, you didn't get my message, let me email you again. Let me email you again. I have had clients email me 3 times a day about the exact same question, and that gets really overwhelming when you're actually trying to focus on a task. By telling them, hey, I'm only gonna answer between here and here, it lets them know that I have heard their request, but I'm also gonna answer on my schedule. The other half of this is managing your own expectations for yourself. One of the things that I have going on in my life is that I have bipolar. And with bipolar and my personality type, I have a limited amount of time that I can hang out with a bunch of people before I start to mentally shut down. Likewise, I also have a limited amount of time that I can be completely by myself before I start to shut down. And so for me, I have learned that I have to manage my own expectations about what I actually can tackle. This looks different for every single one of us. What looks like a good amount of time to hang out with people looks different for you than it looks for me. There's another great way of managing both your expectations and everybody else's expectations for you in a given busy season. And that is carving out time on the calendar that is yours. It is the times where you have said, this is for me, this is for my family. I have a really hard time doing this, but it's something I have been working to get better at and to say, you know what, this is important to me. Now, the thing about doing this is that you have to put this stuff on the calendar ahead of time. Otherwise, everybody's going to ask you for that time and you're going to forget to schedule it in. So these are my thoughts about how to handle and manage the very busy and crazy holiday season when it comes to holiday parties and goodness and all the wonderful things that we like to do at the holiday, also managing all of the things about your family and what they need and what you need, and just the fact that, you know, you should be building into these relationships like they're your family, and also trying to be an entrepreneur and running a business at the same time. All three of these things feel like they can be a full-time job, and the big thing about it is setting and managing expectations, both for yourself and for other people. I would love to know how you guys are also managing your time and how you guys like to say no, how you manage expectations for yourself and other people. These things are valuable tools that we all can benefit from. So if you've got some really helpful ones, put them in the comments below so that we all can learn about how to do this better. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Happy Vlogmas.